Hello crafty friends, I'm Lien from Studio Kato and I'm so glad you're joining me again today. Today I'm sharing a super simple but really fun rainbow fall card using some digital stamps from Streamside Studios, and I also wanted to tell you about the discount going on over there right now. So Streamside Studios is available at Etsy. They have digital stamps. They are super fun designs. I love working with them, and they have a 20% discount going on from now until I think the 1st of December. I am not entirely sure. I should have checked before starting to record this video, or this voiceover at least. But I will leave all the information in the description below and also leave a link to the shop. Now this stamp that I'm using today is a digital stamp, and it's called Magical Pumpkins, or it's part of the Magical Pumpkins set at least. So this image is one large image. It's perfectly designed to fit on Slimline cards. I cut mine down a little bit to fit on a mini Slimline. And I just printed this onto Neenah Desert Storm cardstock. I'm not sure about the weight. It's quite sturdy, so I don't think it's the 80 pounds. I think it's the 100 pounds, but like an idiot, I threw my packaging out, so I'm not actually sure. Now this cardstock is absolutely wonderful to work on with colored pencils. It's my favorite cardstock probably. I don't have a lot of it, so I'm using it very sparingly, but it's perfect for pencils. And I really love working with pencils on craft anyway, because I love the way it almost glows, or it seems to glow on slightly darker cardstock. And it's also really easy to color on darker cardstock. If you don't have white cardstock behind your colored pencils, it's really easy to get full coverage or seemingly full coverage. When you have white showing through, that's very noticeable. If you have craft showing through, no one is going to notice. Now that being said, for this coloring, I am using a lot of pressure. I went in with full pressure from the get-go. I have another video explaining why you shouldn't do that, but I knew exactly where I was going with this image. I knew how many layers I would need, and that was basically none, basically just one layer. And I just made do with very heavy pressure, and that made me finish this card a lot sooner. Now what I'm doing to get this rainbow effect is really simple. I am just changing colors. That's really it. That sounds so self-explanatory, but you just want to change colors halfway through your coloring, or wherever you want to change colors, and you change all of your shades. You go from red or an orangey red, like I did before, to a more rosy red, like here for the shading, and then you just shift between orange and pink. And here I'm using a very dark burgundy sort of purple, or maroon maybe it's maroon. Whatever it is, it's a dark purple, so I used a dark purple, a mid-tone purple, and then I'm using that same pink, actually, that I also used for the pink part of this card. And that works out because I am going to layer just a tiny bit of purple back on top of it to give it just a purple sheen to it. And then I'm going to shift over to the blue next. And I'm going to start with my darkest blue. I go from dark to light like I always do, and I'm overlapping the colors here. Now this works better if you don't have any lines separating your colors. Like I have with the orange and the pink, that was just bad planning on my part. I should have overlapped them within one of the line spaces, but I didn't, I forgot. So yeah, they are not overlapping, and it looks like a harsh line between those two shades, and that doesn't work out perfectly. Then I colored the leaves and the stems on top of the pumpkins the exact same way. I cut that part out because I thought it was repetitive, and I also went over the line art again with a black fine liner. Because pencils tend to be opaque, Not all of them are, but mine definitely are. And they cover up the line art. I just wanted to make the line art pop again, so I went over it again with a fine liner. Now to put the card together, I used a mini Slimline card base, put a dark brown cardstock on top of that, and then layered a couple of layers of thick white cardstock behind my craft panel. Then I also folded a mini Slimline envelope. I will leave the envelope calculator I used down below. I used my We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board for that, and then the card is finished. It's a really simple card. I wanted my pumpkins to shine, so I didn't add any embellishments to this. You could of course add some iridescent sequins if you want. I think I would go for that if I would add some embellishments to this, but I'm not going to. I really like these pumpkins, and it's really handy that this is one large image that you can just print out at once and just color. I think I spent maybe half an hour making this card, maybe a little more. But yeah, this was a really quick card to make, and I really loved coloring in these images. Now don't forget about the sale going on over at Streamside Studios. Again, I will leave the information in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed this card and video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.